Hey guys, Eli here, and Louie. Oh, you scared him off. I don't know what just happened. He's weird sometimes. Anyways, I have something to run by you. I need help here. I got some questions that need answered, and who else better to answer these questions than random strangers on the internet? So here's the thing. If you've watched my last, I don't know, some of the last newer reviews that I've done, reviews of newer films, stuff I've seen in the theater, you've heard my bitching about theater etiquette. So that's what I'm here to talk about. Theater etiquette. Here goes. I'd say like three out of my last 5 or 6 theater going experiences, let's just call them that, have been pretty negative. I'm talking people talking in the theater. Now I'm a little bit old school. I'm 41 years old. I've been going to the theater since the mid 80s. God, that sounds like a 1,000 years ago, but it wasn't. Since the mid 80s. So I saw a lot of movies in the 80s, a ton of movies in the 90s, early 2000s, tons. But for the last 15 years or so, I've probably gone once or twice a year. Hell, I think there have been years where I didn't even go once. And I did miss it. Let's just get that out of the way. I love going to the theater. I always have. It's been a huge part of my life, my identity. For the most part, it's somewhere where I can go and relax and just, I don't know. I love it. But man, these last, I don't know if things have changed. When I was a kid, I don't want to be that guy, but I guess I'll go there. When I was a kid, and even until the early 2000s, it was frowned upon to talk in the theater. Maybe it's okay to say a word or two to the person next to you, I guess. I think most of us would prefer that you didn't. But I mean, I'm talking about, and it's mostly been like teenagers. Although when I saw, I've said this before, when I saw Lisa Frankenstein, there were like 3 old people. And they were almost the worst of the offenders. They were chatting through almost the entire movie. But other than that, it's been like teenagers talking incessantly for minutes at a time, loudly, to the point where like I'm having a hard time drowning out them to hear the loud movie. So what I'm getting at is theater etiquette kind of gone? I know statistics show that not very many people under the age of 30 watch my channel. But if anyone does happen to come across this and you're under the age of 30 or whatever, let me know. Like, did your parents teach you theater etiquette? Did you learn it on your own somehow? Did your friends teach you? Or is that kind of a lost thing? Is it just acceptable to go into a theater and just do what you want, without the regards of other people? I don't know. So here's the thing. I asked them, maybe not so politely, to quit talking. And to be honest, I'm not sure if they heard me, because they were talking so loudly, and it was during, the movie was playing. I said it quite loud. But anyways, that seemed to do nothing, so I waited another 10 or 15 minutes. I went out and talked to, I don't know if she was the manager, the first employee that I saw, the usher, I guess they would have called it back in the day. I told her what was going on. She was very apologetic. I assured her she didn't need to apologize. I felt almost bad. She seemed to take me serious. She said, I'll take care of it. I'll, comp you some free tickets if you want, which I did not take them up on. I felt good about that. I even told her, I was like, this is my first time ever complaining. And so nothing really seemed to happen. I got back. It did nothing. I waited maybe another 20 or 30 minutes of constant talking by these same teenagers. I went out to that same girl and I said, hey, it hasn't gotten any better. And she goes, yeah, she seemed a little bit less, I don't want to say apologetic, but less interested this time. She said, and I kind of get where she's coming from, but not really. She said, yeah, I've gone in there like 3 times, and every time I was in there, they weren't talking. And I get that, because I waited like a half an hour to complain again. And I'll admit, by then it wasn't as much constant talking. It was like every 2 to 3 minutes. So there'd be 2 or 3 minutes maybe of relative quietness, less talking, quieter talking, but then they'd like would talk loudly for 30 straight seconds. So I kind of get that. I kind of get how you could pop your head in a couple of times and be like, oh, they're not talking now. Um, and okay, I do think that these girls wised up. I think they saw me storming out, probably looking angry. They saw, employees popping in, frequently for a good 10 minutes there, and I think they got the hint. But what bothers me, I guess, is that I felt like this girl that worked there felt like she was like, okay, this guy is an asshole, and he's making a big deal out of nothing. I think that's the general consensus, and I just kind of walked out with my tail between my legs, so to speak. And I just don't know how to feel about this. I thought about talking to a manager after the movie, not to try and get anything free, but just to explain, like, hey, this is what happened. I just don't feel good about it. And I kind of wish that I had, but at the same time, it's like, man, what if that just snowballed and made me look even worse? I know you guys weren't there. It's always hard to judge situations when you weren't there, but going off what I said, look, I'm a reasonable guy. If you've watched my channel for any amount of time, I think you know a little bit about who I am and how I conduct myself. And I'll admit, out in the real world, I'm maybe a little bit angrier, but I am reasonable. I assure you, I'm not an asshole. All I do demand respect, and not just to myself. I demand that I want society, everyone in society, to respect each other, because I offer everyone respect, regardless of who they are, regardless of what they look like, how much money they have, what their social status is. I respect everybody, and I want that, reciprocated. I just think everyone should respect. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm sounding like an old guy telling kids to get off my lawn. I don't mean to be. What do you guys think? Have you had bad theater experiences? Ryan, I know if you're watching this, I know you got my back. I hope some of you others do too. I just had to get this off my chest. Tonight was rough, man. I'm not gonna lie. It was a rough night. I saw Love Lies Bleeding, by the way, which is a movie I had been looking forward to for at least a month or two, maybe 3 months, maybe more. I thought the trailer was amazing. Sneak preview into, I will be doing a review. I did not love the movie. It was decent. I did not love it. I'll do a full review. That's all I'm going to say. I just want to let you guys know what I saw, why I was at the theater, and yeah, let's get some dialogue started. I would love to hear from you, regardless of your age. Tell me about experiences. What have your experiences been like recently at the theater? Regardless, whatever country you live in. If you're in the U.S. like I am, or a different country, let me know. I'm curious. I'll admit I'm a little down right now too, because as I've said before, I had not gone to the theater much for a long time. I missed it. I bought an unlimited pass so I can go as much as I want, and January and February were kind of cool because there weren't any good movies, so I would go during the week, and often I'd either be the only person in the theater or maybe there's one or two other people. So I don't know, the last few times I've gone, I don't know, it's kind of getting me down. It's like, I don't know, it's like that sanctuary is being taken from me. If I can't go to a movie now, if people aren't going to be quiet and respectful, fuck, dude, I'm just not going to want to go anymore, and that bums me out a lot, because this has been kind of therapeutic for me, this year, since I've had this pass. I may not be renewing it. I don't know. Maybe I'll just have to go to reviewing movies once they're available for streaming. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't know. What do you think? Let's talk about it. I'm gonna stop now before I before I start rambling and going down some other rabbit hole. But I appreciate you guys as always. Thanks for watching this video, stopping by, all that you do, and we'll talk soon. I hope. Cheers.